How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Unsigned Pop Punk Podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Tarnowski. Alongside is my lovely co-host, Brett Wheezy. Brett Harvey Wheezy. Sorry, I almost fucked that up right there. But today, we got a special guest returning to the show for a third time. We
Mm-hmm.
we got Awlivv, our homie.
Hello. And my
Ooh,
cat who is
and the
in the way
kitty.
now. Yes, Ty. Oh, he's stretching. You can't see it. But
Oh.
hi, everyone.
We uh we have cats interrupt the show so often.
Oh yeah.
I feel like they
Between
hear the
Yep.
talking and they
Mhm.
just they want to join.
Oh, that is
That's exactly what it is.
100%.
Yep.
100%. Like my cat, he hit my cat Artie, he will be upstairs just sleeping, and then he will run down the stairs like meow, 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 just screaming.
Yep.
Hmm.
He's crazy.
Yep.
But
I got both
yeah,
of mine sleeping off camera here too. They're just a pile of cat right next to me.
Oh yeah, mine had to get in on the action.
that's the way it is, and it's good. We're happy to have him, you know.
Yep.
But this isn't any episode. This is our very first classic album review. I'm
Hmm.
stoked for it.
No, me too. And you you picked an absolute staple. So for those of you tuning in, our guests pick an album that we talk about, and you picked Fall Out Boys from Under the Cork Tree, which
Yep.
was again like that is an album. That's a very big album, and I think they just celebrated their 20th anniversary for this record as well too.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
Um,
think so.
They did.
yeah,
They celebrated it on May 3rd. So the coolest thing about that, I don't know if you've seen all of, but so they're going all out for this anniversary. They're doing deluxe reissues. It's a 3 LP set, like 2 CD box sets, super deluxe digital version, all kinds of goodies like acoustic versions, remixes, B-sides, live recordings. There's a letter from Pete Wentz, Dance Dance prom photo, and
That's crazy.
a comic book cover inspired by A Little Less 16 Candles, like the music video.
Hmm.
It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah. Are they doing a tour for that or
I was
just
I was just gonna say if they don't, like, what a missed opportunity because like the
yeah.
chokehold
I
that this
mean,
record had on like so many people back in the day, it
Hmm.
would be a big tour. It'd be huge.
Yeah. Like My Chemical Romance just did, that
Yep.
like 20-year tour, I think. But like
Yep.
Fall Out Boy, I love both, but I was always a Fall Out Boy girl. So I would pay $500 to see Fall Out Boy. I did
Yeah.
not pay that much to see My Chem, but Fall Out Boy
I
I've never
no
seen.
comment. I just
Brett
I just
did go.
I saw my comment Soldier Field in the pit,
I bet it
and
was
man,
awesome.
oh my god, concert of a lifetime. But
I
but
saw
I, you
my
know what, I
chem.
would do this. I would do the same for from Under the Cork Tree too,
Yeah.
because I mean, like,
Mhm.
you couldn't get away from this record back in the day. You still
Mhm.
can.
Yeah,
No,
literally.
you can't. No.
I mean,
I hear I hear like at least 3 of the songs pretty regularly in Target. Um
Hmm.
so uh but you know, it's it had like a chokehold on like everybody.
mhm.
And so,
Yeah.
and I love hearing my generation's music in Targets and Walmarts as, like elevator music and
Background.
shit now.
Hmm.
Right. Ah, yes, the classic rock tunes at Target.
Oh my God, them being classic rock, that's crazy.
I
It
mean,
Like
we're not
they're
that
gonna
far
get,
off.
yeah,
no.
they're gonna get there.
Well, it's 20. I mean, these we're hitting like almost oldies territory here. Because I mean,
Mhm.
Backstreet Boys are played on my oldies like radio station,
Yeah.
and that's only like what, 6 years off.
I mean,
Yeah.
think about it. That would have been the same era as, like, Blink-182,
Uh-huh.
Corn, Limp Bizkit. Like,
Hmm.
calling Limp Bizkit classic rock feels
I'll
like
I'll shit myself if I
Don't
hear
ever do that,
corn,
Pat.
if I hear corn in the oldies station, like
Hey, man, tomorrow it's gonna happen tomorrow, guarantee it.
I'll prep.
You're not gonna shit yourself.
I'll prep. I will, and I'll do it. I'll let you guys know. Like
Please, you don't have to do that.
I
Actually,
will.
like you don't
I'll
have
let
to
you
do
know.
any of it. Please
Yeah, I
don't.
think you have to.
I feel like I said it. I kind of have to, you know. Um. All right, but let's start at the top. All right, so From Under the Cork Tree came out May 3rd, 2005 on Island Records. It was the band's major label debut. Not that, obviously not their first album, but and it, exploded top 10 on Billboard, a Grammy nomination for Best New Artist, and of course, the hit single Sugar We're Going Down and Dance Dance. Rolling Stone recently also called it one of the best albums of the 21st century.
Mm-hmm. I
Yep.
back it.
That ain't
Yep.
nothing to sneeze at.
Yep. Well, and Pat and I were kind of talking about this before, and I kind of brought up the point that, Take This to Your Grave was obviously an incredibly solid record, and they followed it up obviously with this album. And stylistically, they were both like relatively, similar, and so it wasn't necessarily that they came out of nowhere and just like, wow, who's this completely new band? I mean, people already knew Grand Theft Auto was already getting a lot of rotation.
Love that
Mhm.
song.
But then From Under the Cork Tree came out and like perfected the formula, and like Sugar We're Going Down was just massive. Like you couldn't go anywhere without hearing it. I remember that year on Warped Tour that this record came out. I think it was the first time I saw Fall Out Boy, and like they headlined one of the main stages, and just the fact that they went from like they exploded so fast, and like it was just insane to see. Um, but it was a big turning point too for like emo and pop punk as well too, because it really brought obviously there are some other bands too that contributed to it, but when I think Fall Out Boy was like probably the top of the list, that like they came out and like brought it like to the mainstream, and we're like, check more of the stuff out. We're not that bad.
Yeah, I was watching a video or like a YouTube video about it today, and like they said that they were like doing TRL, and like the year before they like had never dreamed of that, and they were like, we were like
Right.
next to Ludacris and like Justin Timberlake, and it was like, why are we here? We're like weird pop punk guys.
Right.
And that had to be crazy. I was 10 years old when it came out, so it was like my intro to everything, but crazy.
Right.
Well, speaking of that, speaking of 10-year-old Olive, like what kind of personal memories does this album bring you? Like where like when this came out, where was 10-year-old Olive?
I was living in small town Nebraska, and my best friend who lived 600 feet away from me, she had an older sister who was like an emo scene queen for Nebraska at least. And she was so cool. She would burn me CDs all the time, and I think she burned me like a mixed CD, and it had Sugar We're Going Down on it. And then I was like, what is this? I need more of this. So then she burned me From Under the Cork Tree. So the first time I ever listened to it, it was illegally, but that's what we did back in the day. And
Yeah, that was.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I had this burnt on a CD.
Oh, I
mhm,
definitely
Livewire.
did. Yeah,
And then
Livewire. Yep.
I think like a major memory for me is like her sister and me, like my best friend and her sister, and then like her family were all on a trip, and there wasn't enough seats in the car, so me and my best friend were in the trunk, well, not in the trunk, but it was like in the back behind the last row of seats,
In the
and
trunk.
we were
Yeah,
just
yeah,
listening to dance on a CD, and I was like, oh, I love this one, I can't wait till that one comes on. And I was just like in the back of the car.
yeah. Brett, what about you? What do you got? What kind of memories does this album spark up for
Oh,
you?
man. This was for me. This was like a really like vibrant time, like in terms of like this music. I remember like I always associate this era of Fall Out Boy with Warped Tour. It wasn't my
Mhm.
first year going to Warped Tour, but like that specific year of Warped Tour was like massive. It was the year that Fall Out Boy, All American Rejects, and My Chemical Romance were all just exploding. Um, and it was also when I was getting into like other bands like Acceptance and like Emery and stuff. Um, but I had a really good kind of similar to you. I had a friend that we would just cruise around for like hours on end, just like blasting music. And I remember this was the one record that we always like, it was always in rotation. So when I think of this record, it like takes me back to like those car rides and like listening, to this record just on repeat. There was one song on here like specifically absolutely loved. I want to say, yeah, it was I've got a dark alley and a bad idea that says you should shut your mouth. That song. We'll talk about that later. I mean, the song titles on this record were fucking ridiculous.
The
too.
best.
Like that was another thing that I loved too. Like this kind of like kind of started that trend with song titles. But yeah, it's just a really nostalgic album. It brings me back to like that summer of 2005, just blasting this record and just cruising around with nowhere to go. And yeah, it was a time.
I was not 10. And
I was gonna say I should add I was like what 2005. How old was I? What's that up? I would have been like
well,
16
minus what you are by
yeah.
20.
I'm trying to do math on a podcast for me isn't easy. I would have been 16, 17 at that time, I think.
Yeah, I wasn't. And so my main thing is I remember I was deep into like touring at this point with Jamestown Story, and my lead singer Dane was adamant. I was like, dude, this is gonna be huge, dude. This album kicks so much ass. And he's like, yeah, it's cool, but it's not gonna be as big. He was dead set that the starting lines, based on a true story, was gonna destroy it. And I was like, nah, bud. That's a great album. Don't get me wrong. I fucking love the starting line, but
so good.
I'm sorry, honey. This ain't it.
Yep.
This ain't your time. And like what an awful looking at it now, any album to like try to rival this at the same time, man, what heartbreak.
Right.
Yeah.
Because based on a true story is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Just not compared.
It's a no skip album. Yeah. I think it's meant, you brought up the band you were playing and I think it's worth mentioning too. I was touring at the time as well too, in like in a kind of a post-hardcore band.
Well, so was Awlivv. She was touring in the back of that in the
right.
trunk of the car.
Yeah, I was singing along. So
we were all touring at this point.
I think this record also was kind of one of those like signal flares for us. Where we're like, maybe we should go in like a more like pop punk emo direction, and we did, and it worked out really well for us. I remember like this era like really like kind of like pushed us like to go more of like the emo pop punk sound, which I was 100% for because that's my bread and butter. But I think it influenced more than just the mainstream at the time. I think it influenced a lot of artists too that newer established that were like, oh, what they're doing is working really well. We should dip our toes in that.
Awlivv, were you a Pete Wentz or a Patrick Stump person?
I was Pete Wentz. I wanted to be like his like little scene, like again, scene queen. Like I was just so into like the scene look, and he was like kind of more that than Patrick was.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was a simp for Pete for sure.
I knew I could never do the Pete Wentz because first off, I got glasses, couldn't do the eyeliner. I just can't touch the eyes. I can't do it. It's a deep-seated fear of mine.
I get it.
It's but I was like, okay, I'm going full Patrick Stump. I'm gonna get that like military cap. I'm gonna do this.
I love it. You need to put a picture of that in this or on the promo
right.
for this.
Right.
If you have any.
So I don't. However, if anyone feels like deep diving YouTube, there is a video of me performing in that hat.
That's awesome.
So you can find it. It is there. It sounds terrible.
I was gonna say, I think one of my old band promos, I was definitely like balls deep in like the emo swoop and like that whole like Pete Wentz vibe.
Everyone was doing it. I had long hair.
The straightener, like the
I
whole nine
couldn't
yards.
straighten my hair though, but I
No,
did have long hair. It was already straight, and then it
yeah,
started to leave me, which was
Sure.
sad.
Mm-hmm.
It was the worst.
Rip.
Okay, so we're gonna dive into some fun facts. I know you said you were kind of like, looking at these as
Oh,
well. You
yes.
you got your notes, okay? Um, so my first note, like my first fun fact, and I'll let you kind of throw out what you found too, Olive. So my first one is the one that kind of everybody knows, like the album was like kind of pretty chaotic in its process. So like 2 weeks before recording, the band actually had scrapped 10 songs and then wrote 8 new ones, and one of those new ones was "Sugar We're Going Down."
That's crazy. I didn't know that one actually.
Oh, all
That
right.
fact.
Perfect. Well, we got that one.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that's nuts. Like, what if they hadn't? And
right.
where would the album be? Because that was the first single.
Yeah, yeah. Like
Yeah,
Dance Dance is good, but Going Down is like classic. Like
classic.
That's
we'll be in the Rock Hall of Fame or whatever someday, probably.
I
Right.
agree. That's my favorite, like my favorite of the two big singles.
Me
I
too.
love it. All
Well,
right,
and
Olive.
well,
Oh,
I was gonna say too. I mean, yeah, like the record label didn't like it because the chorus was what was it? Too wordy. I think it was like there's too much going on the chorus, and
So wordy.
right,
Um,
grow up, guys. You don't know what you're
right,
talking about all the time.
right.
so
Olive.
I have I have at least one Sugar We're Going Down. Oh, I have two Sugar We're Going Down kind of fun facts. One's kind of a conspiracy, I think.
Okay.
Okay,
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
so the first one is that it peaked on the charts at 8 on the Billboard 100,
Hmm.
and that was in September 2005. So literally 20 years ago, probably today,
Yeah.
it was like popping, like exactly like this month and everything. Which I thought was fun. And then my conspiracy is that like you know how it says like I'll be your number one with a bullet.
Yeah.
Uh, Apparently some people think that like that was like almost like an innuendo for like the Billboard 100 because I guess Billboard's logo is or was a bullet,
Hmm.
and
Oh,
so
okay.
it was something like, oh, we're gonna be number one on that, but then other people are like, well, that's just also like a movie name. But I like the idea that they were like, no, this is gonna be the hit and it's going to like get up there on the charts. So I don't know if
Dude,
that's true,
yeah,
but
and
I like
it
it.
would be that would be very like on brand for like Pete Wentz's
Yeah.
like lyrical style too. Because I mean, the guy writes like some very sarcastic, putting it lightly, sarcastic lyrics. So
Mhm.
it'd be right on point for him to do something like that. Like, yeah, we know this song is gonna shoot to the top, so let's put that line in there.
Yep.
Yeah. I think I really doubt it's a conspiracy theory. Like, dude, like seriously, no, like with what Pete Wentz goes for and like his shit, I'll bet. I'll bet
He's
it's
like, yeah,
true.
this is the hit and it's gonna get up there and probably number one, but if not, close.
Right? They knew.
They knew. They knew what they were doing. Brett, you want to drop one?
Yeah. So I mean, this is kind of a surface level one, a little bit, but so the title is actually taken from a 1936 children's book, The Story of Ferdinand by Monroe Leaf. So
Yeah.
there you go. Take that.
Mhm. I I remember reading that too, and it's like
Yeah.
because it's about isn't it about is it about a bull or something?
Ferdinand the
So
Bull, right? Is
yeah,
that?
so
Yeah.
here's like the deep dive of this thing here. Okay, so the story focuses on a bull named Ferdinand who would rather sniff flowers under a
Yep.
cork tree than participate in fights.
Yep.
And so the album cover features a van with a trailer in a slump of snow, and the scene is shown in a theater setting with an audience of monochromatic men in suits watching it in the foreground. So there, like this whole thing is like so thought out, which is very on brand. So the
Yep.
van and trailer in the snow is a reference to a real life car accident that the band was in while they were driving to New York City to film the video for Grand Theft Autumn. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
from their album take this to your grave. Now, while driving, their van slid off the road and it crashed into a forest. In the limited Black Clouds and Underdogs edition, the men in suits have been replaced by the band members, which is
I
pretty
remember that.
cool. And
That's cool.
the van and trailer was replaced by the actual van in the accident, which is that's
That's sick.
crazy. That's sick.
I'm
You
gonna
know,
make.
I
I was gonna say I'm gonna make a massive confession right now. Every time I see this album cover, it's like my brain just focuses on like the the crowd in the front and the like the drapes on the side. I have
mhm.
never looked to actually see what the fuck it is they're looking at in the middle of that album cover. And as soon as Pat saw that, like I have the album like wiki up right now. I zoomed in and I was like, sure as shit, that's a van and a trailer crashed into in a snowbank.
That's literally what I was gonna say. I learned today what was on the album cover because I was like,
Right.
oh my God, like why did we never look? Like I
You
never
want to know why we
comprehended
never
that.
looked? Because we burned the CDs and we never owned it back then.
That's true. I have never owned this album.
I
I think I
I
do own
still
the
have
record
mine.
somewere, but
Yeah. I still have
but
mine
we were
from
also
like
buying CDs back then, and like now
mhm.
people a lot of times buy like vinyls where like yeah it's bigger, little more easy to see the details, but I got a little CD. You're like,
Hmm.
oh cool, Fall Out Boy, let's put that in the CD player. And then like you lose the case somewhere and ends up with like a Converge, you know, CD in it instead of Fall Out Boy, and it's just a mess. And
Hmm.
I think realistically it's just like we kind of saw, you know, the frame of it, and that's really
yeah,
all. Like we're just like, okay, cool, it's these dudes. Like, you know, we didn't look at
right,
it like a piece of art, which
correct,
Yep.
yep,
now we do, because
right,
we like this album means so much to us. But it was like, you at the time, you know, when we're way younger, we just popped it, we're like, oh, that's cool, popped it open and got the CD out.
yep.
Hmm.
We didn't
One,
really appreciate it like we do
yeah,
now.
Yeah.
yeah. There are a lot of records like that for me. One that really stands out was Finch, What It Is to Burn. Classic album, love that record. And like the album cover, it was always just like burned into my mind. And then like years and years and years later, I'm like, what is actually on that album cover? Like I finally like looked at it like closely. I was like, oh, it's an Ice Cube tray of all things, you know? But like you
Mhm.
just associate like the colors and the kind of generic shapes. Or like, oh yeah, I know what that album cover is. I don't know what it is I'm actually looking at though.
Yep. I feel like I'm that way with like album covers and also like it's the same with like when you're reading or something, you see a word that you don't really know how to say, so you just skip over it and then someone says it and you're like, "Oh, I just made up what it was." Like
Right.
I
I
knew how
make
it
it up all the
looked.
time.
Right.
Yeah.
Olive, do you got any more fun facts?
Oh yeah, I think that the next one I'm gonna throw at you is that Brendan Urie's first time in studio was on that album.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
Brett
Um,
just learned that.
Right. Yeah. Obviously we all know that like Pete Wentz is responsible for, you know, Panic at the Disco existing. I didn't realize that he had brought Brendan Urie into the studio like before they even recorded A Fever You Can't Sweat Out.
yeah.
Um and brought him in to sing on that track. But like yeah, dude was invested in that band. I mean, he signed them without even like having any shows under their belt. Like they had like some like MySpace demos, I think, or something at the time. And but yeah, no, that is insane to me because like he really stuck his neck out for them, being like, I think these guys are gonna do something. Hey, you want to come sing on our new record? Like
Yeah, yeah. And like
insane.
and it's almost like hard to even tell it's him, but then once you
Yes.
know, you know, but it's yeah,
Yep.
like the background chorus of 7 Minutes in Heaven.
Yep.
Um, which I have a 7 Minutes in Heaven fun fact too, if you want it.
Oh,
Sure.
yes, please.
So apparently, 7 Minutes in Heaven out of Van Halen.
Hmm.
And so apparently that was like a reference to Pete Wentz almost overdosing on Ativan.
Hmm.
Yep.
Which I don't know the lore of that, so can't go into it too deeply, but I thought that was pretty crazy. And then confession, I don't really know Halen that well, but apparently the riff is pretty like Van Halen-esque in it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I thought
Yeah.
that was pretty interesting how it has like two titles and that those are like the meanings of the titles.
Right.
Yeah, I had saw that and I immediately went and checked out like the riff and stuff, and I'm like, okay, I mean, I mean, sure.
Yeah.
I- Like, I guess it's kind of like, I don't think it's Van Halen-ish, but maybe like, I mean, in with whatever their skill set is, because I mean,
Mhm.
Eddie Van Halen's one of the greatest guitar players of all time and one of the most
Right.
creative. So it's kind of like you can maybe it's the tone of the guitar.
Maybe it's just people on the internet saying shit too.
Right.
It could be. I think most of these things that we're reading have been like stated by the band, though.
Okay, cool.
Right.
I
I
could
like
be.
how I'm just saying things over here. I'm like, I think
I think. Um,
I saw it somewhere.
yeah.
On the internet, so it must be true.
Mhm.
Speaking of like, Brendan Urie though, I when Panic first came out, I thought it was a conspiracy theory as well that somebody was trying to say that Panic at the Disco wasn't Patrick Stump singing
Right.
because it was. I swear to God, it was just Patrick Stump. I always thought it was Patrick Stump until like
That was
I
so
found
common
out it
back then too.
wasn't.
Everyone back then, like the immediate like comparison when Panic came out was, oh, this dude sounds like the dude from Fall Out Boy, and that was with people not even realizing like that it was a heavy connection there between the two bands. Like
Yeah.
they do sound very similar. They've got a very similar like operatic style of singing, and yeah, I probably also why Pete Wentz like his ears perked up when he heard them. He's like, hey, that sounds good. It sounds like my
Yeah.
band. Someone's got to be good.
It's kind of interesting. I never thought about how I think Patrick Stump, Pete Wentz, and Gerard Way have, maybe not Gerard, but haven't they all done kind of like something off operatic and like more classical too on the side? Because I feel like they're all the same era and they all did
Yeah.
something
To,
outside that genre.
um. Yeah. I mean, I would say the Black Parade from My Chemical Romance is a very
True.
classic rock inspired. Like it's a rock
Very,
opera.
yeah.
You know. Um.
Yeah.
But so I feel like they probably have. I don't know about Patrick Stump. I mean, you guys might know more than me. I know he had his solo stuff for a while, but that was
Hmm.
more
Yeah.
like a pop rock thing, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
I think so.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah.
I ever heard it, to be honest.
I heard
I,
some of it back in the day. I mean,
yeah,
I
I
think it was
did,
like
but
probably 2010
Not your
or
thing?
11, maybe.
no,
Yeah.
not my thing.
Not your thing. Okay. Yeah, I there was like a time for me that I didn't listen to anything new. Like there was a good like 4 to 5 years to where like anything that not 4 to 5 years. Okay, there's a few, but like it was like 2012 to 2014. I couldn't tell you what came out. I just
Dude, same.
it was
I was the
it was a
same
weird
way.
time.
Yeah.
And maybe
Yeah.
it was before that. Maybe I don't know
Yeah.
times anymore. Time is
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
But
Right.
there was a few years where I stopped like
There's some
finding
black holes for
anything.
me between like 2009 and probably 2013, just like where
Yeah.
I just was not super up to date with things.
Yeah,
Um,
I feel like I'm in that era now almost. Like I listen to new music of other genres, but not new pop punk and not like emo, not new any of that cuz I got opinions on that. But yeah, I'm in that era now.
right.
I'm definitely in the like I I hear a few new bands every once in a while,
Yeah, I was
it's
gonna
not
say
all the time. No, I'm just being funny. I'm silly. Silly Billy
he's
Gumdrops.
you're
Um
you're something.
I am. So my fun fact also kind of goes off of, the same thing. We had Brendan Urie, but the album had a bunch of cameos. We also had William Beckett from the Academy Is,
My
Mm.
and
boy.
Chad Gilbert, who I thought this was Pete Wentz the whole time, but it was Chad Gilbert from Newfound Glories yelling. Um, I don't remember what song it was on, but he was the one that was doing the screamies in one of the later songs on the album.
I know exactly what song you're talking about. I can't remember the title
Let
of
me
it, and
see.
I can
Yeah, yeah,
hear it. It
yeah,
wasn't Get Busy Living or Get Busy Dying, was it?
I think it's I slept with someone in Fall Out
yeah.
Boy.
That's it.
I was gonna
Yep.
say one of those. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I always thought it was Pete because I know that Pete
Same.
also liked to do his screamies, and it's
Yep.
not like super awesome. And Chad's
Yeah.
screams aren't super fantastic. They're more like Madball-esque hardcore, because
Mhm.
Yeah.
that's his jam.
Well, wasn't
Yeah.
Chad the singer of Shai Hulud at one point?
He was.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's got a lot of that.
Another
Like,
fun fact. Wrong
yep,
band though, Brett.
wrong band.
No, I was just kidding. I meant
I was
like, so
like,
we're not talking about that wasn't Fall Out Boy. I was just being
right.
silly.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Get it.
you goon. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't realize that he was even on there. I mean, I knew about William Beckett. I did not know about Chad Gilbert until
Chad. I love
I
Chad.
learned that today.
I
Because
know.
yeah,
So
well,
that's what fun. We're learning things.
that was kind of a cool thing about this record too. Is it really like kind of like outside of Fall Out Boy? It kind of started that whole like Fueled by Ramen and like Decadence like family of like bands again, like the Academy is Cobra Starship, Gym Class Heroes. I think the
Hmm.
Hold Steady was in there too at some point, but like it was almost
Mhm.
it kind of like it hardcore bands always had like Solid State or not was it Solid, no, like Tooth and Nail and those like different
Tooth
labels
and
that
nail. Yeah.
and then this was kind of like a newer like drive through records like collective era,
Yeah. Hmm.
and I think this record was really what spawned a lot of that because it brought a lot of those artists onto the record. All those bands started touring, well, were touring together, and then well, one thing leads to another, and here you are.
It's
Um,
true.
yeah.
It's true.
Um,
Who wants to give us another? Who wa-
I have
uh,
one.
Olive? Give us another fun fact.
So I think the first song on the album is "Our Lawyer Made Us Change the Name of This Song,"
Yeah.
mhm,
and that's true.
yep.
And it was supposed to be, "My name is David Ruffin, and these are the Temptations."
Yep.
And
That's so great.
they wanted to avoid the lawsuit, so they
Yep.
had to change it, which is so funny. They were like, "What should we change it to?" It's like when you put your password as password,
Right.
which you don't
Dude,
do, but
Right.
the smart assness of it though is what is the best part because it's just like,
Right.
what should we name it? I don't know. Let's just name it. Our fucking lawyer made us change the name of this. It's like I
yeah.
love
And
it.
the lawyer was like, "You guys are such fucking assholes. Like,
Like
why
yeah,
did you do
Right.
this?"
yeah, like
Um,
screw you guys.
I was listening to this record today after I picked my daughter up from school. We were listening in the car, and she saw the name of this song pop up, and she's 9, and she says, "Why does it say that on there?" I'm like, "Oh, well, that's the name of the song." And she's like, "That's like a whole sentence." I'm like, "Very good." And she's like,
Real.
"So did they get sued or something? What was the original name of the song?" And like it just the name of the song alone like kind of like sparked this entire conversation about yeah, they actually changed it to this because they couldn't use the original
Hmm.
one, which I think is hilarious.
It
Hmm.
is.
Yeah.
It's so good. That's such a good one. Brett,
Yeah.
you hit us with one.
Yeah, I got one, and so I knew this back in the day, but I completely forgot. I'm a huge Armor for Sleep fan. I love Armor
Mhm.
for Sleep. I don't think that band could do any wrong. I totally forgot that in the music video for Dance Dance that they had Ben Jorgensen like come in and have a little cameo. Travie McCoy was in that video too. I remembered that because I mean he
Mhm.
was Travie McCoy, but I totally forgot that Ben Jorgensen was in this video too. And then I watched it again. I was like, no shit, yeah, there he is. Like that classic Armor for Sleep emo swoop,
Hmm.
Um,
The, this album was so fun with all of them because
mhm.
they did cameos throughout like all of it. Just like on the
Yeah,
on the album in
yep,
videos, they were all
yep,
just like, let's just hang out with our friends all the time.
And I
yeah,
love projects like that because I feel like it feels so much more like they were just like real people. I mean, they're still real people, but they were
Yeah.
just like, like dudes. And they're like, I don't know, like, do you want to come over tomorrow and be in our music video? And I just think that's fun energy.
right.
Dude, so much. I agree. Okay, so I only have two more that I like on my list. Olive, hit us with another if you got one.
Well, I have, let's see. Um, I have how they kind of recorded or like wrote it. And I think this is true for most of them, but like I was watching an interview with Pete Wentz today and Pete did the words and Patrick was all melody and
Mhm,
like
mhm.
but like at one point they would like go through and they would change the words like it word by word. Like Pete would change the words as Patrick was singing them to like figure out what sounded good. And I thought that was pretty interesting. And
Yeah.
like it sounded like he thought it like in the end it worked out, but he was like, that was so much work and I don't know why we did it. But literally word by word, they were like, let's change it to this or that or this.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah. I saw that as well, and I think that's so cool. Like, I mean, just the amount of like collaboration that would take would drive me personally would drive me insane.
Yeah. I'd be like, you write it and then I will sing whatever you want. Like,
Yeah, just tell me what you fucking want.
yeah.
I feel like that's what helps with their lyrics being so unique as well, though, because with his writing style, and Patrick, just he's like, okay, give me the words, and then he's like, okay, these are the words you want me to sing. Okay, I'll try and fit it in. It's
Mhm.
like that's how that shit gets so wordy because it's
Yep.
a person writing words, not
Right.
writing
Mhm.
the like words to a melody,
Hmm.
just writing words.
Yeah.
And
Right.
And that's probably also why I feel like Fall Out Boy is a very difficult band to understand. Like so many of the lyrics I didn't learn until I finally looked them up and was like, oh, that's not Loaded Gun Complex, it's God Complex. What? Like
yeah,
Yep.
it's weird
Yeah.
things like that.
it.
So many misheard lyrics too. Like
Mhm.
if you go on YouTube, like you find like I love looking up like misheard lyric videos, especially for like that era, because
Yeah.
there's some hilarious shit out there. But yeah, he had a very unique way of singing, and I think part of that may come from the fact that he didn't write the lyrics himself.
Hmm.
Um, but I think Pat, we were kind of talking about this on like I think might have even been the last podcast, just how it was actually really common at that time for a lot of bands to be lyrically very wordy.
Mhm.
Especially a lot of like the kind of like
Well,
the
I think it came after Fall Out Boy, though. I think Fall Out Boy
ah
was
yeah, well, yeah, I mean, yes and
maybe.
no. Taking Back, I mean, bands like Taking Back Sunday and like
Oh
Brand
yeah, yeah,
New,
yeah,
and
Yeah.
even like some bands like Saves the Day, even like
yeah.
they were very wordy. I think it was that same concept
You're
though,
right.
where they
Very
just had
much right.
notebooks of lyrics. Like, hey, I have these lyrics, you have that song. Let me shove these lyrics into that song. And like in the case of
Hmm.
Taking Back Sunday, where you got two singers, it's like then it's almost like a rap battle at some point. But the thing though is that those bands were not mainstream. They weren't being played on like top 40 radio.
Right.
Fall Out Boy came out and started doing that and blew up with it. They're they're
Hmm.
they're the ones that really brought to the forefront, like, you know,
Hmm.
um, but yeah, it was definitely a trend of the times back then. That's almost like rapping.
Yeah, I
you know.
think the one I think of the most, I don't know if you guys think this as well, but like there was never been more of like a this dude is just writing words in a notebook is saves the day through being cool. Like
Oh
that
yeah,
Hmm.
whole
yeah.
because it's just like none of it like rhymes. It doesn't
Nope.
really flow, but it's just so cool.
Yep. Yep. I have a lyric from that record tattooed across my chest, actually.
Hell yeah.
I love Saves the Day, but yeah, yeah. Again, and he had a really similar kind of writing style as Pete too. It was dark and like kind of sarcastic. But yeah, you're right. It didn't flow. It was not like straightforward pop writing in the sense that we're
Yeah.
used to now with like bands like Fall Out Boy.
So Olive, I got the so we talked a bunch about like cameos and stuff. So I want to see if you found this one as well. Okay. So this is my last one. This is the last one I got.
Okay.
So in the 16 candles video, there's a ton of cameos in that one. So uh it's got once again, Travis McCoy pops up, Brendan Urie pops up in that one. Spencer Smith pops up. We got William Beckett again, Mike Carden, and then super random ones. This is what I like the most. So the random ones you got in there is Fall Out Boy's security manager Charlie is in it.
Love.
Who is also his nickname is also War Chief,
Oh,
which is
badass.
badass. He portrays the priest in it, And then the special effects and lighting guy, whose name is Dirty, is in it. I think that's awesome. Just like they're homies. All of their
Yeah.
homies just
Yep.
show up.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
Yep.
that's really nice, especially to have like crew members. You're like,
Yeah.
yeah, you can be in the video too. You want to play the priest? That would be so fun. Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
he's probably like, that's so random, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
His name's War Chief. I haven't gone back and looked, but with the name of War Chief, I assume he's like just a big dude.
Or he plays World of
Yeah.
Warcraft. That's
I,
my
you know,
assumption.
I might go to church if War Chief was the priest, but
Right.
that's the only way you're gonna get me.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll all go together. If we get a guy that's named War Chief,
Yeah.
we'll go hand in hand.
I think it's worth mentioning too, though, like, Fall Out Boy did a lot of that through their entire career with like, this kind of spawned that. But I mean, like they had a lot of videos where it was like just cameo city. Their records had boatloads of cameos. Like, let's not forget, after their hiatus, when they came back with Save Rock and Roll, they got fucking Elton John on a song.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Yeah.
they kind of were doing what like a lot of like rap and hip hop artists were doing at the time, like having guest vocalists and guest appearances at like throughout the record.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool too, because it wasn't something that was like a mainstay in the genre at the time, but like Fall Out Boy started doing it and they kept doing it and it worked out really well for them.
Mhm.
I just thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah. I agree. Olive, do you have any more before we move on?
I mean, I just have that the album itself it debuted at number 9 on the top 200 and it was there for 2 weeks. So, I mean, that's pretty good for a pop punk band, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm-
I mean, they deserve that. I mean, they deserve better, I think, but
Right.
I honestly, I think it's crazy with how popular this album is and was. That like I honestly before starting researching this, I thought it went higher. I thought it hit number
Mhm.
1 probably.
me too. I looked up did
Yeah.
From Under the Cork Tree hit number 1 and I was like, "Oh, no."
Yeah. I would be willing to bet though that after the success of From Under the Cork Tree, that the next record, Infinity on High, I'd have to check. That record had to have hit number 1. Because that record was
So.
massive, like
Yeah.
coming off the success of this one. I mean, Jay-Z was on that record. Like
Mhm.
it was huge.
FOB.
FOB.
That's
That's
so
one of my-
crazy.
That's one of my because that's literally his cameo is
Yep.
the intro song of that album. He's just like, yeah, your boys FOB, and that's like it. That's all it is.
That's it.
Mhm.
Yep.
I love it. The
But just a
best
testament to
cameo.
how far they came too.
Yeah.
Like from this record, from Under the Cork Tree, they did so well where they're like, oh yeah, no big deal, but we got Jay-Z literally introducing our next record.
Yeah,
You know,
like
like-
completely different genres, like
Yeah.
Right.
superstar level. Like I feel like
Yeah.
Jay-Z is still one of the most famous people in the world and has been
Yeah.
for like 25 years.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I had my own Jay-Z moment, significantly smaller, but I have on one of my band Cities Never Sleeps EPs, it's uncredited, but on our intro song, the very last line of the first song is screamed by Carl from Misery Signals.
No
and
shit.
It's one line. That's it. Like he just like screamed the last line, and it's just like that's my Jay-Z moment.
Hey,
Mhm.
you know what? I'd be proud of that too, because I fucking love Misery Signals. I mean, hey, like
He was-
they're my home. They're like my hometown boys. Like
he was
I gotta-
just in
gotta
the
love 'em.
studio recording some like solo stuff, and I was like, hey, Mr. Carl, would you do something on my pop punk album?
I was like, yeah, I'll scream a line.
He's like, yeah, dude, what'd you
that's
want me
actually-
to do? He's like,
That's
do you
hella
want
cool though.
Yeah, and then so we
Right.
just and it like it's funny if you ever wanted to go and check it out. It's on our How the Midwest Was Won EP, and it makes no fucking sense. There's no there's no reason. It's not
It's just
even
there.
like an easy core song, nothing. There's no reason. other than I got to say that, Carl from Misery Signals is on my album.
I've looked it up and I will listen later.
Okay. Okay.
And
All
check out
right.
Misery Signals if you haven't too. Fucking amazing,
Oh, fuck.
amazing band. I
I
love
I
Misery
definitely
Signals.
think I've listened to them, but
I
I will also have to refresh myself on
I
them.
Was
love
Carl the original vocalist, like the one that
no
was from Canada? Oh,
no.
he was one that came in
He's
like after him.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Got it.
How's it going, everybody? It's Patrick with Unsigned Pop Punk, and we partnered with GFUEL. And let me tell you, there's no more pop punk drink on the market right now. I don't care what you used to drink at. GFUEL keeps you energized, focused, and hydrated. I just picked up my favorite flavor, Blue Ice. If you go to gfuel.com right now and use code UnsignedPopPunk, you're gonna save 20% off your entire order. This tub I have is only $35.99. Now that may seem like a lot, but it's got 40 frickin' servings, which if you think about it in can form, is like 89 cents a can. And they're always dropping new flavors and collabs with some of your favorite animes, video games, and movies. Head over to gfuel.com and check it out for yourself. Let us know what your favorite flavor is. And once again, don't forget to use our code UnsignedPopPunk at checkout to save 20% off your whole order.
Olive, we'll start with you. What are some of your favorite songs off of the record?
Well, I know my top favorite is Nobody Puts Baby in the Corner. Um,
Samesies.
it's so good. I
Mhm.
love a lot of them, but I would say that one's my top favorite. And then I like a little less 16 candles.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously I love Sugar We're Going Down, but like since it's like, the most popular single, I'm not
Right.
gonna say it's one of my favorites, but it is, I think, one of the best songs. But yeah, I would say those two are up there. But definitely Nobody Puts Baby in the Corner is like one that I sing to myself at least like once a week out of nowhere. I'm just like thinking about it.
Yeah.
That's fair. Brett, what do you
Mhm.
got? What are some of yours?
Oh boy, it's tough. I mean, yeah, I'm kind of there with you too. Like Dance Dance and Sugar, obviously, like great songs. I think for me there's songs on this record that like blow me away, and I think the first one for sure is because it is the first song on the record, and it really like it was for a lot of people. This was like their introduction to Fall Out Boy, first hearing it. Definitely, Our Lawyer made us change the name of the song.
Yeah.
It's a great song, and
Mhm.
I remember specifically when I would see them live at the time too. Like Patrick Stump would not sing the chorus the same way that he did on the record. Like he would like sing the high harmony instead of his own melody. And something about that just absolutely fucking slammed live. And I loved it. And it always that nostalgia has always stuck with me. So definitely that one. Um definitely a little less 16 candles. That one's also
Yeah.
like a given for
Yeah.
me. I don't know. Like this is where it gets tough because now I got to pick one more, and I don't like those are the two givens for me. I would probably say honestly, it would have to be Nobody Puts Baby in the Corner. Like
Man,
that's just such a good song. Like you can't.
Mhm.
it's so good.
It's so good. And I want to say too. I think, and I should have done my research on this. I thought they had this song on another release at some point prior to this record, like an acoustic version or like a demo version for like maybe like an
Mhm.
older EP.
They
I
did.
don't know if it was like pre Take This to Your Grave or after Take This to Your Grave, but essentially if I remember, yeah, they
Yep.
re-recorded the song
Mhm.
for this record.
Like an acoustic version or
Yep.
Was
something
that it?
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yep,
For My Heart Will Always Be the B-side, blah, 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 blah.
Mhm.
Too
yeah,
long.
yep.
Yep. Too long.
Too long. Yep, yep.
That's true. I also like agree with a lot of this. Like, uh, Nobody Puts Baby in the Corner. It's great. And my thing is like, I'm such a sucker for a good intro song. Like,
Yeah.
if you hit me with an intro, like, oh, it's for some
That's true.
reason, an intro song like it does it for me. And
Yep.
this is like such a great intro song. Like it gets you right into the album and it doesn't like stop. And then it goes right into like of all the gin joints, like that
Yep.
song is so fucking good too.
Yep.
And I'm not scared to say that Sugar We're Going Down is high up, is it is
It's a great
in
song.
top, it's in the top 5 for sure.
Yep.
I don't know
Me
if I
too.
I don't know if I don't know if I could say top 3, because honestly I think Nobody Puts Baby in the Corner, Our Lawyer, and Gin Joints, like I like those better. Like they just, those 2 songs just solidified the album, like
Right.
starting out for me. Um
I kind of want to expand on one of the points you brought too about like a good opening song, because like these days I don't think people are listening to new albums like front to back the way
right,
that we used to.
right.
And yeah, back then, like having a big banger opening track was a big deal, right?
Yeah.
So like, you know, Fall Out Boy had Our Lawyer, My Chemical Romance had Helena, um you know, so many examples of like these records that just start off with these huge massive like like anthems
Yeah.
essentially as the
Mhm.
first track. And like if that first song hit, man, that record was gonna be an
You knew.
absolute banger.
You
You
knew.
knew.
Yep.
Right. Yep.
Totally. All right. So Olive, this is the only part where I was like, okay, I'm gonna put you on the spot a little bit. It's not even, it's not, you've got this. It's not even bad. So we're gonna this little segment we're gonna call 3 and 3. Okay.
Okay.
So it's 3 and 3. So the reason it's called that is we each have an opportunity to name one band that was a little less known at the time this album came out. So like who did you, who were you listening to and that your heart like still pounds for, from back in the, back in, you know, in the early 2000s when this came out, that not enough people knew about? And like who would you shine a spotlight of a band now that deserves the shout out?
Okay. Well, this was like 2 years later, but Josephine Collective, I don't really know much about them as a band. They only have 995 listeners on Spotify right now, but my friend's older sister showed me them, and maybe they were like a Midwestern, like Kansas City era, like area band, but Josephine Collective, they're like pop punk emo, a little more of that like auto-tuney voices sometimes, but like if you liked From Under the Cork Tree, I think you would like that, you know?
Hell yeah.
They're not similar like exactly, but like if
Yeah.
you were into that, you'd be into this.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I've
It's kind
only
of what we're
met one
going for.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only met one person other than the girl who showed me them who knew who they were. So,
That's awesome.
mhm.
And who would you think is a good shout out for like a newer band now, like somebody that's you know, out there right
Ooh.
now just kind of trying to make a name for themselves?
And like is pop punk?
I mean, in the vein, you know, in the scene.
Oh my God. I'm looking through my like stocks right now.
You know, that's okay. I'll let you think on it. Like you
Yeah.
can kind of check it out. Brett,
Yeah.
Yeah.
hit me with your 2.
Okay. So this one was kind of tough for me because there were so many great like under the radar pop punk and emo bands at the time. A big one for me though, like I think that if you like Fall Out Boy and you like this record, um, you may not have heard of these guys, but Hit the Lights was
Mhm.
a fantastic, like grotesquely like
Mm.
catchy band that
Mm-hmm.
I could never get enough of them. They were
Mm-hmm.
fantastic, and
Mm-hmm.
I think
Still
if
love
yeah,
them.
still love them. Yeah, they still put out fantastic music.
They just did. They just put
They
out a
they
new
did
song,
they did they
and it's
did.
a, and it's a
So
banger.
I would say yeah, like if you were into like Fall Out Boy and you're into From Under the Cork Tree, definitely check out Hit the Lights if you haven't. In terms of bands that I think that you should check out that are like newer and more little more well yeah newer, check out Calling All Captains. I think they're uh stylistically there's definitely some overlap with like what Fall Out Boy did, especially on this record and Take This to Your Grave. I wouldn't necessarily say they sound like a carbon copy of Fall Out Boy, but I think that the spirit of what they do is certainly a continuation of what Fall Out Boy started with this record. And not to
Totally.
mention like fantastic band across the board. Super fucking cool guys too. So do
Mhm.
yourself a favor and check them out too. They've been on the podcast a few times with us, and they're just rad dudes.
Olive, what
Okay.
do you got? I see that you look like you are ready.
I am ready. Okay, so mine is like I'm sure they have pop punk influences. They just toured with Arm's Length, who's like a little bit
Yeah.
pop punk, but also
Hell
a little
yeah.
more like indie and like very
Mhm.
like they they really sing, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This band is called Bike Roots, and they're
Okay.
from South Jersey, like 20 minutes away from me, and like they're so good. They're like just like fun to listen to, good like car like road trip music. Like sad but also upbeat at the same time, and I know the people in the band, they rock. They're super funny and nice.
Nice.
So I say
There
Bike
you go.
Roots.
All
Bike
right.
Roots.
I'm gonna have to
I'm going
check
to
that
check them
out
out.
because
Yeah,
yeah.
same.
Mhm.
I was gonna say I love Arm's Length. So if they were touring with them, I'm
Yeah,
90%
yeah,
sold.
they're very good.
I
Excellent.
like that. Hell yeah. So my picks are, same thing. I think that my band came like was kind of popping a bit before this album came out. A bit by like a good 5 years, I think, but still Midtown.
Hell yeah.
I love Midtown.
Yep.
Gabe also went from Midtown to Cobra Starship, which
Wait, I
is
don't know this.
you
Yeah.
didn't know that? Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I was gonna say not a lot of people know where Gabe came from.
Yeah.
nope.
Like, yeah.
So I remember having a VHS. I don't remember which one it was, but it had Midtown on it. I remember, like, I have this vivid memory sitting in my dad's like basement, which was where my bedroom was, watching this on this tiny screen, tiny little TV, and just being like, "Holy shit, this band kicks ass!" And and like when the on that video too, I was like, oh man, that bass player, he can't sing super good. Not at all. But the guitar player, I like him a lot. And he kind of reminds me of Dave Grohl. He kind of looks like he could be
Heath,
Dave
right?
Grohl's son. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Gabe just kept getting better and better as a singer, but I still fucking loved the rawness of that album.
Yeah.
Um it was like, was it Save the World, Lose the Girl, I think
Yep.
was that album. It's so fucking good. I love it so much.
Yep.
I'm gonna look
And
that up.
yes,
Midtown. Yeah, Midtown's a
please.
fantastic band. And I was gonna say, like, there's a lot of people that don't realize that Midtown was even a thing that
Yeah.
before Cobra Starship that
Yeah.
gave support. I had another
Mhm.
band. Fun fact too, Heath, the guitarist, after Midtown, he joined up with Senses Fail. He was playing
That's
with them for
cool.
quite some time.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
But yeah, I also remember I was also at my dad's house when the Snakes on a Plane song, the
Yes.
that I remember that came out, and I ran from my computer because I was sitting on MySpace, I was
Oh
talking to
yeah.
people on AIM, ran into the living room, was like, what is this gloriousness? And yeah,
Yep.
I
Mhm.
remember seeing that
That's how I discovered Cobra Starship was watching Snakes on a Plane.
because
Yep.
that was the first song they did was
Mhm.
That's
Snakes on a
so
Plane.
great.
With William Beckett from the
Yeah,
Academy is and
Oh, and I
Travie.
had
I
such a crush.
yeah.
you know
I'm pretty.
I
I
think
think
kind of
that
tying
was
it
like a
back.
one-off.
Hmm.
I think it was
Yeah,
initially supposed to just be a one-off, and then
probably.
people were like, "Holy fucking shit!" Now, if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm not
chat about
sure.
this because I don't know. I did no research. I'm just speaking my opinion.
Yep.
But I think too, like that there as well, like that single is like almost a direct continuation of like the Fall Out Boy legacy, really, because
Mhm.
a
Mhm.
lot of those, like that whole collective of people in that song were essentially brought together from Fueled by Ramen and Decadence
Yeah.
Records, which so
Mhm. Yeah.
it all, everything ties back to Fall Out Boy and Pete Wentz.
Everything.
That's just really what it is here. It's just they're the ones pulling the strings.
Yeah.
Yep.
And my new band that y'all need to check out. I also went back to Chicago for this one. My band is called Action Adventure,
Okay,
and
I've heard of them.
Yeah, and they're so good. But, keeping it Chicago, Chi-town.
Yep.
I remember we actually had them on the show, and they were very, very adamant that you do not put ketchup on hot dogs.
So they're wrong.
You don't.
So definitely wrong, but their music's pretty good, you know?
Yeah. They're wrong about ketchup on hot dogs, but music is good.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're gonna close it out here with, just kind of give, just like a little bit what we learned. So like from Under the Cork Tree went 5 times platinum. And it didn't just change Fall Out Boy's trajectory, it changed the whole genre. Like
Hmm.
everything changed after this. It brought emo and pop punk into the mainstream like no one would have ever thought possible. Like because Blink-182 obviously did it first.
Yep.
You know, they came out they they came out swinging,
Yep.
but like this like this like catapulted it even further,
Yep.
really kind of helped the Hot Topic out, especially, you know,
Yeah.
Yep.
without Fall Out Boy, without Good Charlotte, where would Hot Topic be?
Right.
Be not here.
Right.
Be
Yep.
not here.
Yep. No, and I'm right there with you. And like, yeah, we're here 20 years later, and like to me, it still feels like yesterday when this record came out. It's such a good album. It's held up over the course of time, and like, yeah, like you said, I think it really not only did it launch like pop punk forward, even more so, but like, it started to kind of like, meld that pop punk and emo thing. Like, I think there was a time when people were like, well, is this pop punk or is this emo? And I think this was one of the records where people like kind of started like they were kind of becoming one and the same,
Hmm.
um and I mean, obviously Fall Out Boy is still massive. They obviously did something right with this record, and like it just, again, yeah, just catapulted them into the genre into this massive like superstar position. So I don't know, it's crazy to think that this was 20 years ago that this record came out.
I know. There's
It's
20-year-old
insane.
people born
Right.
this days. Like
Yeah.
that's insane. There's
Right.
20-year-olds.
There are people that this album probably helped create.
Probably.
Literally.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There are 20-year-olds today that are
Yep.
probably named Pete or Patrick
Yep.
Or Cork Tree.
Or Stump.
or Cork Tree or Stump,
Or
which is part of the Cork Tree.
Oh my God. The conspiracy.
The conspiracy. Like, Cork Tree, get over here, you little stump.
Come here, Stump.
Awlivv, thank you so much for hanging out with us for our very first classic album review. Do you have any last thoughts
Um,
about this album or just life in general?
I think that this album was like the one that really like catapulted me into like wanting to like listen to more pop punk and emo. And I think like it just like without it, I don't know if I would be the same. I probably wouldn't be. And I don't know. I have a lot of good memories listening to this, and I still listen to it probably at least in full once a month. So great album.
Hell
10
yeah.
out of 10, no skips.
Hmm.
Right. Right.
I don't think you could. I don't think we could do this show, especially if there's any skips. Maybe
Right.
I could think of one band. I don't want to bring it up though. I could think of one band though that we could probably do a show about. One. I'll tell you later because
Yeah.
maybe
Okay.
we'll bring it up later.
Okay.
Okay. Awlivv,
Fair enough.
let everybody know where they can find you and
Um,
what's next for you.
so Instagram is the best place to find me, and my Instagram is AWLIVV_. And I make adult content, everyone. I'm gonna get back in the swing of that. I took the summer off, so new stuff, very cool. And
Big things
yeah,
coming.
big things coming, as they say. And Yeah, I don't know. I post a lot on my story about my cat, so if you like cats, that's cool too, I guess.
Absolutely. Well, and we all love cats. I think
Mhm.
who
Oh,
doesn't?
see?
Yeah,
He's not here.
still here, still here,
Oh,
still hanging out.
he said, you
I'll,
guys are talking about me?
well, once again, this is another special episode because as we've been rolling around, like Olive has been a very important part of our show, of our journey. Every time we've done something like new, Olive's been a part of that journey. You know,
Hell yeah.
this is your first, like you are the first in this album review. You are our first ever three-time guest at this point. You were our first two-time guest. Like you are an important part of this show.
Thank you. I love doing your podcast. So anytime you
Oh
need
yeah.
someone, like hit me up.
Absolutely. You know, we're still talking to Josh about doing a little, unsigned pop punk Dungeons and Dragons.
You need to get Josh on one of these album things because the man's an encyclopedia, I think. He knows a
Oh,
lot of stuff.
oh, Josh is coming.
Yeah.
Don't you worry. Josh will be coming. Well, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us and being a part of this classic album review. Let us know in the comments below what you think of the album, what your thoughts are, what your favorite songs are. Let's have a whole conversation. Let's
Yeah. Yeah.
really deep dive together about
Yep.
this.
hmm
This has been another episode of the Unsigned Pop Punk Podcast, and we will see you all on Monday.
Thank you so much for checking out the show. Please hit that like, subscribe, or follow button so you never miss an episode. And thank you to those who already are. Please rate and review the show to help the show be found by new people. And if you're in the position to help us grow, head on over to our website where you can find merch, our Patreon, and other ways that you can help at www.unsignedpoppunk.com. Let us know in the comments who else you'd like to see on the show and what other content you would like to see. Thank you so much for spending your time with us.